Oh yeah, I'm about to have a fun time trying to explain this one. Alright, so Incarnate is the newest horror film by Blumhouse, and it tells the story of this young boy who's possessed by a demon, and basically you have this guy who comes in and tries to get rid of the demon. Now, the guy who performs the exorcism is a scientist played by Eric Earnhardt, and I say scientist because he makes it clear in the film that he's not religious by no standards, and that's actually one of my favorite things about the film, because in there he clearly states, I'm not a Christian. Some people call it an exorcism, some people call it a seance, some people call it a spirit, some people call it aura, etc., etc., etc. And I really love that standpoint on this. The boy who's being possessed in this film is the same guy who plays Bruce Wayne from the TV series Gotham, and as far as this role goes, he does a good job. I mean, he's just an eerie, monotone kid. I mean, he is possessed, so it does fit the role very well. Back to Aaron Eckhart. He does an amazing job in this film, and I actually feel bad for him because, this film wasn't as good as I expected it to be. It really wasn't what I expected it to be at all, but he still brought it for his role, and I feel like he needs to start picking better roles. Now, the movie itself had a wonderful premise, but it wasn't translated to the screen, I think, so well. Think about it. The way he exorcises the demons in this movie is he actually enters the mind of the victim, and as he calls it, he evicts the spirit out of the person. Now that sounds like an amazing concept. It's like Insidious meets Inception, but it just didn't translate well to the screen. Now, with me saying all that, the movie wasn't horrible, it just wasn't what I expected. I mean, it's advertised as a horror movie, but if you haven't seen this and you plan on going to watch it, it's not a horror film. I mean, everything that happens in the movie, you see it coming a mile away. A typical horror movie has the suspense, the music, the build-up, the jump scares. None of that happened in this. You knew what was going to happen before it basically even happened. And while I'm speaking about what happened, let's talk about the pace, because pacing is a huge thing for me, and I think in this movie it was all over the place. There were definitely some pacing issues. At the beginning it started out great. They had this great opening sequence where you see inside the mind of one of the victims that Aaron Eckhart is trying to evict, and it was fine. And as the movie progresses, the pacing was all over the place. I mean, I feel like they just threw things in here and there just to keep it interesting, because there were gaps where nothing would happen, and then like you get this random scene that you feel like was forced into the movie, and it just got confused. I mean, the movie was doing random stuff like it's one scene where the scientist leaves to go get something, and he goes to one of these other guys who's trained him on how to do this mind jumping thing, and a little scenario happens and the other guy ends up dying, and then he just comes back to the main house and he's like, "Where'd you go?" "Oh, I had to go get something." I'm like, but you just killed someone. And that happens throughout this movie. I mean, like when the boy's possessed, he's dropping bodies left and right, and you're just sitting there like, where are the cops? What did you do with the body? Why did you even have to kill this person? Who is this that you brought in the movie? It was all over the place. I mean, the premise of the movie was already pretty confusing as it is. You think it's a horror movie, but it's really a thriller, but then it's Inception, but it's The Exorcist, but it's Insidious. So it just was all over the place. And to bring everything back around full circle, Incarnate was different. I really enjoyed Aaron Eckhart and the kid who plays Bruce Wayne. They did a great job in this movie. I feel like Aaron Eckhart really needs to find better roles, though, because he brought it in a movie that didn't bring it. The effects in the movie were okay. The pacing was literally all over the place. I mean, all over the place. So to sum it up, you won't love this movie. So I'm not saying rush to go see it, but at the same time, you won't hate it. So I definitely have to rate this movie a rainy day rental. All right, so that's it for today's review. So for the conversation of the day, let's talk about horror movies. What's your favorite horror movie? What's your least favorite? Have you seen Incarnate? If so, did you like it or hate it? If you haven't seen it, do you plan on going to see it? And if you haven't checked out my newest segment, The Rapid Rundown, be sure to go do that. Now, as always, people, if you liked this video and you thought it rocked, like, comment, subscribe to see more from me, Mike Proc. Later.